The Stretford end is here, and it is your press conference reaction from Ragnik to the game against Atletico Madrid tomorrow evening. And of course, lots have been said, lots of questions have been asked, so let's just get into it. But before we do that, continue to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and also continue to like and subscribe to the channel as we want to grow to at least 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Let's get into it. So, basically, he was asked a very simple question, and of course they wanted to know about the team and how it looks ahead of the game tomorrow evening. And basically, Bruno is back, and so is the rest of the team. Everyone is available, excepting a doubt on Luke Shaw, who still has to have a leg fitness test tomorrow. But other than that, the rest of the team is ready to go, and he's able to choose from a fully fit squad once again. On to the next point. Basically, it was asked for Telles and Ragnik on how important the crowd is. And of course, we know Old Trafford can be a damning place to play at. It could be a nightmare for opposing teams to play at. And that is what needs to happen, especially the way we played against Spurs and how the crowd reacted every time we, were pegged back with an equalizer. That needs to happen, but more. The crowd needs to be more vigorous. The crowd needs to be more loud, basically make it so loud that it is deafening to the Atletico players and that they cannot communicate to one another. So the crowd is important. The crowd has always been there for us, whether it be low moments within our team, within the season. The crowd is always there to uplift. Even the away fans are absolutely amazing, as we've seen. They will sing, they will scream their lungs out regardless of what happens on the pitch, because they know they are the ones who need to drive the team forward from the outside and from the supporting stands. On to the next point. Ragnik was asked about Cristiano Ronaldo and if he's able to, play as he did with the same as intensity and at the same level, for tomorrow evening. And Ragnik said that he's not concerned. And of course, why would he be concerned? He knows what Ronaldo has done on a year-to-year basis. He knows how Ronaldo looks after himself, how he trains, how he eats, etc. And he basically said that he looks after himself really well. But it's not just about Ronaldo. The whole team is important too, and this was evident against Spurs. He said there were good meetings held after the Spurs game with regards to the Atletico game, during training, and of course pre-match tomorrow, which basically means that there is communication now. The players are speaking, the coaches, allowed to be more open with the players, and of course, with such positive meetings being held, this shows us that basically the team is doing well in terms of communicating with one another. There is a bit of team spirit now growing, and they are starting to see that their mentality needs to change in order for them to compete and also play at the highest level on a regular basis. Just had to get a drink of some Coke there. Of course, Ragnik, is also showing exactly what he needs to show as a coach, and of course allowing us to have these meetings where players can come out and speak, where they can, voice their opinion on performances, on certain, shall I say, frailties within the team that we currently have. And this is good. It shows that the team is going towards and leading towards that one-mindedness, as I spoke about in the previous video. If you haven't seen that, go and give it a check out, and definitely continue to like that video as well. On to the next point. He was basically asked on how important it is for us to get the first goal. And Ragnik basically said that on getting the first goal, it is important, of course, but Atletico, as they've shown in previous games, don't mind sitting back and allowing the opposing team to have the ball, which is similar to Spurs. It's similar to Conte, as I basically spoke about before, and said that the Spurs game is basically a warm-up and a test which was passed by us for a much tougher test against Atletico tomorrow night, who will definitely sit back, who will definitely give us a low block, who will definitely try and counter-attack us with speed and with precision, and basically try to exploit our weaknesses in defense that we do have, but we can counter that by pressing them high, by having a high line, and of course not having Harry Maguire in defense. No disrespect to him, that is just my opinion and I'm free to give it. On to the next point. Basically, Ragnik was asked about Varane as well. And here's where it gets interesting. But before I get to the point that makes it interesting and funny at the same time, listen to what Ragnik said. Ragnik said on Varane, basically, he has done well so far and he is fully fit again to help us out on a game-to-game basis as we expect him to. However, the journalist basically made this, and he commented and said that Varane and Maguire, when they have played together, we haven't lost the game, and asking how important is Varane to the team, etc., etc. This was Ragnik's response, which I just want to take a moment and do this. Absolutely brilliant. I had to give him a round of applause for that, because this was his answer to the journalist. He basically said, Lindelof also plays well and has been important in games that we won. And when he came on against Spurs, he done well as well. Basically, the reason why I say Ragnik and deserve the round of applause for that is because they were trying to make Maguire sound like this wonderful partner for Varane. But they are trying to cover up his inconsistent performances, his bad defending, bad positioning, his lack of pace, his lack of intelligence, his lack of leadership, etc. I could go on. But these are the things that these English journalists and the English media are trying to cover up. And I wrote this down by saying, Maguire mentioned as a partner when they played together, and we haven't lost a game because of the two of them. It's ridiculous. It's farcical. How can a journalist even ask something like that and mention Maguire in the same breath as Rafael Varane? Yes, the stat might show that we haven't lost the game when the two of them played together, but these performances have not been near good enough, not even decent enough for us to say, you know what, there is some truth to that. There is some type of sense to that. But there isn't any sense. Everybody knows Maguire should be dropped. Everybody knows that Lindelof plays better next to Varane. We've seen it. We've held clean sheets with Lindelof and Varane. And of course, as I've said before, it's because he's English, it's because he cost £80 million, and because he's the captain of Manchester United. That is the reason why these English pundits and media and journalists are trying to protect him and defend him as far as they can. But credit to Ragnik, another round of applause to him for actually coming out and mentioning that Lindelof has also been doing well next to Varane in defense. I want to also say that Ragnik has been shutting down journalists, and these are journalists who want to break us down and use negative questioning and comments on our team to try and cause a rift within the team, to try and cause some type of animosity, amongst players. And Ragnik is completely shutting them down, telling them like it is, and calling them out on the crap that they are asking. And he basically, also said and was asked once again, the question that was posed to him was basically, how much of a blow would it be for us to go out tomorrow, considering it's the only trophy we have to play for? And Ragnik basically interrupted the journalist and said, rephrase the question. How much of a boost would it be if we were to go through tomorrow? And that is the type of coach that Ragnik is. Positivity, always looking on the bright side, always looking at the opportunity, always looking at the way that we actually can use to boost the morale of the players and the team and the coaching staff and the club and the fans as a whole, etc. And he basically responded by saying, we have an amazing opportunity and we have shown the level we can play at. And with 20% more, we can win the game tomorrow. He basically said it. This is the level that we can play at. We can definitely, win Atletico Madrid tomorrow. The team is confident. The coach is confident. We as the fans are confident and optimistic, and we definitely can do it. Tele has also said that it is crucial, for us to go through tomorrow, and we have to play well. Of course, that is self-explanatory, and we have to win. And Tele has said that the team is ready for it, and I believe that. After a brilliant morale-boosting win against Spurs, I'm sure this could, drip and leak into, the Atletico Madrid game tomorrow evening. Before I get to the next point, just need to grab another sip. That is refreshing. And the question was posed to Telles about, how it has been the last 10 years that we haven't actually qualified for the latter stages of the Champions League, let alone qualify for the Champions League in certain season. And Tele said that even though we haven't been in the latter stages of the Champions League as much as we would like to in the last 10 years, we have to better that. We have to better it. And it is hard, and we need to work hard, train well, and this year we have an opportunity to do so, but we take it game by game. That is it. It's that simple. Chelsea did it last season, so why can't we do it? It's possible. Nothing is impossible in football. It comes down to hard work, determination, grit, teamwork, team spirit, and just everything working in your favor. But never giving up is the ultimate thing that is drilled and in the United DNA. And like I said, the coach is confident we can win it. He's come out and said it, he said after the Spurs game, why can't we win the Champions League? We can. Jadon Sancho has said it in interviews before. Telles has now said it as well. The team is confident, and I think we can win tomorrow evening against Atletico. And onto another question that was posed to Ragnik. Basically, he said that we have to focus on our own sporting ambitions, and we want to show we can compete with the best teams in Europe, and we will try to win the game tomorrow night. That is what Ragnik wants the team to do. He wants the team to show and be the best that it can be, and prove to others that we can compete at the highest level. He also was asked about Mata and why he has been playing as much. And of course, quite simply, there are too many players that are in competition with him for the same positions, and that is the reason why he hasn't played, as of late or as much this season. Basically, another journalist asked a very, very weird question. He basically said and asked, would winning the Champions League be an easier way to qualify for next season's Champions League, or would top four be a better option? And Ragnik basically said, either way it works, but we have to focus on what's realistic. And right now, we can definitely, go into the next round, try and go into the last four. We can definitely try and win the Champions League. It's not impossible. The opportunity is there for us. It's just in the top four as well in the Premier League, we have to make sure we don't drop points. We have to make sure that we basically win all our games from now till the end of the season. That's the only way we can qualify for the Champions League. But Arsenal has the games in hand on us. So it's in their hands basically. It's basically for us to just make sure we win our games and hope and pray that Arsenal, and West Ham, etc., slip up, in one of their two games so that we can get the fourth place for Champions League. Of course, they were also asked about, Ronaldo and his impact on the team when he plays the way he plays. And Telles basically said that at his top level, he has a huge impact on the team in the changing room and on the pitch. And we always want to help him, and he helps them. And that way we have a strong team. It's quite straightforward from Telles. We know the leadership qualities Ronaldo has. We've seen the type of leader that he is on the pitch, and we've seen it off the pitch as well. Looking back to the Euros final that they had against France, where he was taken off in the early stages of the first half, but stayed, on the pitch and guided his team in the final moments to win the game, like a manager should and like a manager would. That is the leadership, that he naturally has within him because of the mentality that he has as a player. And of course, a final question was asked to Telles, basically on his battle with Shaw for the left back position. And he said that he has huge respect for him and he came here to help, but he feels better and he is working very hard and lets the manager pick who should play, and they get on well. And of course, he said he loves the Champions League. He's played in the Europa League as well, but he loves the Champions League and he loves the competition. He loves the atmosphere. That is basically just the gist of the press conference that was held earlier on today by Ralf Ragnik. And of course, insightful, very blunt, very straightforward, but positivity. Huge moments of morale boosting words from Ragnik, saying that we can go on to win it, we can win tomorrow, we can go through. And what is expected of us is to basically play at a high level, play with intensity, play with urgency, play with a sense of purpose, play with the desire to win and to win well and perform well tomorrow evening. That is it, simple and straightforward. Thank you guys for joining me on this press conference reaction. I definitely cannot wait for the game tomorrow night. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be a big game. And I definitely do believe that we can win Atletico tomorrow night. Continue to follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter for more content on the Stretford End and Manchester United. And of course, continue to like and subscribe to the videos and the channel here on YouTube so that we can grow the Stretford End to at least 1,000 subscribers. That is the goal for us before we reach the end of the year. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed the video. That is it, me, Session Johnson, till we speak again on match day. Goodbye.